Hello, I'm a British person. No, well, I am British, but my name is JW97 for starters. And before you're wondering where on earth Rob is, well, he's here. Hello, Rob.
Hey there, I wanted to let you do the intro this time, but it's good to see you, Joe. How are you doing?
You're doing very well.
All right. Well, we're here at Silverstone for round 7 of the GP2 season, and it's a good time for a qualifying session, which is a.
Yes, indeed, and we are here at the magnificent Silverstone circuit in Northamptonshire, Great Britain.
Yep, indeed. And last time out in Austria, it was some race, and indeed, Cal Burns, for the first time in his career, was able to take victory despite going off track on the penultimate lap in mixed conditions. It was a very entertaining affair. And yeah, now we're here in Silverstone with a new championship leader, as a matter of fact.
Yes, indeed. That championship leader, of course, being Aaron Curtis. He goes into this 7 points clear of Hoang Min Nguyen, with Jesus Pernin currently a little bit behind in third position. But so far, it's as expected in GB2, closing up very rapidly.
Absolutely. Just look at the standings for the previous race, because in Austria, seven of the top, six of the top seven drivers in the championship did not score points. The only one in the top seven who scored in Austria was Curtis. So this can be very dramatic, I think. And we've passed the halfway point this season, where it's gonna get more interesting from here on out. Actually, we
Indeed,
haven't
so.
passed it. We're at it. We're at the halfway point.
Yes, we are, and especially now, given that we are currently in the silly season phase of the OC.
Yep, indeed. The top class signups have ended not too long ago, and the GP2 signups have opened immediately after their closure. So the GP2 signups are open, of course, for next season. And so it's up to you guys to see if you want to see or not. But yeah, we'll see what's going to happen next season. But first, we're going to see what happens this qualifying session.
Indeed, we will.
It's looking like there's just a little bit of cloud cover and a very small
A bit
chance
of
of rain
rain.
early on. But yeah, I don't think it'll be massive or anything, as I have to cope with some pretty big shoulder pain, but I should be okay.
Indeed, so, and let's not forget, of course, that it could be changeable in this session. So we could see some very interesting lap times throughout the course of this qualifying session.
Yeah, naturally. Here we have Curtis in the garage, the championship leader, still chasing his first victory. He's been on the podium a few times this season, but he's yet to win a race. And if he wins the championship without a race win, I'll be massively surprised. Anyway, we have the Karam garage actually for the Triton team, so that's a nice touch. As who is going to be the first one out on track, of course, here today? I am
Oh,
wondering.
point out, all the drivers are currently going out on dry tyres, so it looks like it's dry out there at the moment.
Yeah, so it seems. We're on board with some Pratsuk here. And last season here in Silverstone, it was victory for Jamie Griffiths, who's now moved on to Williams, of course. Nicholas Zorbach looks like the first one to go out. Pratsuk had to slow down there as he was exiting the garage. But Zorbach is going out on track. And he got his first points of the season in Austria, the track where he excelled. Now he's at Silverstone, and he'll be hoping to get some more points. He's 18th in the championship right now.
Indeed, so, and it's quite ironic that it's a HWA that's going out for us, given the news about HWA's future in GP2 that came during the sign-up video.
Yeah, indeed. They are going to be getting replaced, of course, I believe.
Yes, they are. They are pulling out at the end of the season, and they will be replaced by Van Amersfoort Racing. So we'll have a second Dutch team on the grid next season.
Yep, indeed. So HWA will have only been here just for this season, and that's it. And this season hasn't gone particularly to plan for them so far. But there's still plenty of time for things to change. And Zorbach will begin his lap pretty soon. He's also got a car not too far behind him. I wonder who that could be. In any case, doesn't appear he'll have any traffic. Loads of people have gone out.
They go through Maggots and then into Beckett's. They will soon be going through the right and then in through Chapel. Now down the Hanger Straight we will now go then.
I'm having a little bit of issue with my screen share now. I think it's okay. It is okay. Zorbach is approaching the Vale chicane, and he'll be beginning his first lap. He looks tentative on this out lap, but it's not the one that's going to count. The one that's going to count is coming right up. And here I have Nicholas Zorbach into club. getting on the throttle early and keeping it flat to begin his lap. Here we go. The first corner is the flat out Abbey. You might not even call it a corner, it's more like a kink. It's a very fast one. Go through farm up next and in towards village. The first real breakings are on this circuit, and Zorbach has lifted pretty late. Hit the apex for the hairpin, and then do it again for the loop. But you need to get on the throttle as quick as you can, get the car pointed straight, and then get on with it. Through Aim Street for the left-hander. Keep it flat as it launches you onto the Wellington straight underneath this bridge. Zorbach will cross the first sector speed with 28.6, not bad at all. Into Brooklands he goes, taking a lot of curb there, and to Lafayette taking a little bit of a wider line, but it will tighten and have him put him on a good exit. I mean, through Woodcut now with a flat-out right-hander and in towards Cobbs. Not quite flat in these GP2 cars. They can still carry a lot of speed through it, and Zorbach has done a good job with it. He's hit that curve very aggressively, went on the apex nicely, as now it goes into Maggots and Beckett's section, probably the best section of this entire track. Braking now for the right, back on the throttle immediately, almost putting a wheel on that grass into Chapel. Second sector split is a 1 minute 8.2 for Zorbach. So he's definitely pushing hard on this opening lap of qualifying. In towards Stowe he goes, and Zorbach looked definitely very aggressive there, almost going to the edge of the track using a full whiff of it. In towards Vale, needs to get the brake delayed, but don't overshoot because you need to get back on the throttle immediately for Club. And don't waste too much time bogging down that corner. Zorbach is going to cross the line. It is a 1 minute 36.9.
It's immediately beaten over by Proxy, who goes. Brennan Nally goes down the straight, and he goes into P4 with that lap. As Watterson crosses the line, he goes P3. Chobart, that was a woeful lap. It looked like he might have made a mistake somewhere.
Looks like he was chasing after Watterson. Oh, he was actually being overtaken by him. So yeah, Chobot definitely struggling into Cops, and that ruined Chobot's entire rhythm. And let's see what happened afterwards. Doesn't seem to have been anything. He's just been incredibly slow on this one. Curtis has gone P7 now. Originally P6, but now it's down to P7.
A mistake for Curtis though, so I don't know why he's 1.4 seconds off, unless he made a mistake at the beginning of the lap. As I think Flo's being a bit tentative with the replay button there. No, it doesn't.
I think he might have gone a little wide into Brooklyn.
Championship leader. He was.
Yeah, that's quite a surprise. And yeah. Teammate meanwhile, Warson.
Comes Graf now.
Can you hear me all right, by the way, or am I having issues?
Can't hear you, Rob.
Okay, good. Kolasec has set his lap now. P6 for him. Hamid will be next to cross the line, and Hamid goes 10th fastest. Gabriel Quintino goes 11th fastest in front of Tomaselli, as Watson goes 14th. Broster staying his lap next. He's gone into 11th. Patel, impeded by him, goes P7 as Max Skillen only 15th. Mats Wallinger goes P6 as Juan Nguyen, the former championship leader, only 14th with this effort. So that is the first round is done, and Zorbach was the first to set a lap. Is on second row of the grid, so quite good for him. But Ruslan Protsuk is on provisional pole.
He's already had a pole position, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's had a couple of poles, if I'm not mistaken. I think he took 2 in a row at one point.
He's on 2 poles this season, so if he brings it home, it'll be his third.
Indeed, as Proxy now comes into the pits, and we'll be seeing these guys hopefully go out on the track. No sign of the rain so far. We are expecting, of course, light rain, but it so far has gone away from the track in the moment. Hopefully it stays like that so we can get some consistent lap times in.
Yeah, I hope so too, Joe. The chance it said was like 10% for rain, so seems I wouldn't say we lucked out because, I mean, when you have a 90% chance for something to happen and it happens, I wouldn't call it luck, but yeah. The rain has avoided us so far. We'll be hoping we can avoid the British weather for the rest of the session.
Indeed so. As one of the Tridents there just went into the box, and now the other one has joined him as a result. So, yeah, obviously usually with these second ones, one driver gets left behind, so I wonder who that one is going to be.
Definitely not Protsuk, I don't expect, because he was one of the first ones to go out. And I don't suspect Zorbach would either. sometimes it's the last person who went for a lap that could be left out. So I suspect Nguyen could be left out, but we'll see. As Curtis is in a very awkward position right now, and I'm not talking about his P20 on the table.
Yeah, indeed. It looked like he might have had a little bit of a shove going through into the pit lane there. So, yeah, it's not was the best first lap for Curtis. In fact, there were a few cars that are over a second behind Protsiuka at the moment. And, of course, you had Chobot, who got overtaken on his lap by Joel Watterson. So, yeah, a lot of improvements I expect from a lot of the guys a little bit later on.
Absolutely. I will expect a little bit of traffic as well, but that's a given, really. Meanwhile, Burns is doing quite well. He's on the front row. He's definitely picking up that momentum following his win in Austria. And let's not forget, Burns did finish P4 a couple of seasons ago here at Silverstone, so I think he's definitely feeling energized. And looks like Ruslan Protsky will be the first one to go out this time, so he's not getting left out by any stretch of imagination.
He seems like he wants to improve a little bit further on his 136.6. Clearly not convinced that would be enough to get a pole position.
Of course, now that the sign-ups for Top Class have ended, Ruslan Protsky has made his first choice Alfa Romeo, and I'm not sure really, but he might have a chance for the seat, especially if he keeps dropping pole positions and getting some wins, I think.
We haven't had the team news video yet, Rob.
I know. But in any case, I think people who were paying close attention might know the deal already, but we'll leave the good bits for the team news video, okay?
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know if it will be out tomorrow, to be honest with you, because it's a little bit tight at the moment, to be honest. I haven't quite edited it just yet. Everything's been left so last minute, really. Hopefully it is there out by tomorrow, but that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, fair enough. Well, in any case, Joe, one thing I can definitely count you on. Could you do a second lap for Pratsiuk?
So Broxy's going around Capital, who's going to be starting his next lap. Currently over a tenth ahead of the man who won last time out at Austria, Carl Burns, and you can see if he can increase that gap a little bit further. Currently, as mentioned, on a 136.697. So whether the Russian is able to improve or not, we will have to wait and see. As now we will head towards.
Falliger and Nguyen are still in the pits. Meanwhile, as Pratsiuk begins his lap.
Which one will get left behind, I'm not sure. But anyway, Protsky starts his lap now then. He makes his way down the pit straight, the Hamilton straight, I should point out. As he makes his way down towards turns 1 of Abbey and then through Farm Curve, which is the left-hander, before making his way through into turn 3 at Village before heading towards the loop, and then through Aintree Corner, which will take you onto the Wednesday straight. So through the loop, using a bit of curve on the outside, and then through Aintree we will go. Named after, of course, after the Aintree circuit. Coming down the Wellington Straight now, then, he'll be heading into Brooklands as he approaches the first sector time. And is he up on his personal best? He is not.
No.
He's 4 tenths down, so it looks like he's gonna. Looks like he's probably just on one of his cool-down laps, you could say. Through left field, then goes Protsiuk. You can take many lines through that corner, as we've seen in real life, because of just how much of an overtaking opportunity it can be on the first lap. Through Woodcut now, then flat out through the right-hander, and just missing the curve on the outside as he goes down the support pit straight. Heading down towards Cops Corner now then, using all the curve on the inside and then using a lot of it on the outside as well. Heading towards the 2 corners of Maggots now then. So here's the first part of Maggots, then the second part of Maggots, and then heading into Beckett's, the first part, then the second part of Beckett's before going through into the Chapel. Through Chapel Corner we go. There's another version of Chapel which MotoGP uses, but of course we're not using that. Over a second off his personal best in the middle sector. So
this lap is a full right off.
He now heads down the hanger straight before heading down towards up towards Stowe Corner now then. Right next to it, of course, is the Stowe circuit where you see a lot of testing, and of course the Rallycross track as well. Heading down towards Vale Corner then, and then heading towards the double right-hander of Club. Here's the first part of Club, and then into the second part, which is his final corner before blasting back down the Hamilton straight. And across the line then goes Ruslan Protsiuk. This is not going to be an improvement by over 1.5 seconds. So not the best of laps there for Ruslan Protsiuk.
Definitely not. That lap would put him P20. Zorbach hasn't improved either. Wallinger has gone out on track in the meantime. So Nguyen's been left behind. As Perignan improves to go third. Great effort there. Santino Ancioli will be next across the line. He's in P10 at the moment. Can he get any better than that, or will he stay there? Looks like he is actually going up to 7th place. Good job.
just ahead of his teammate Valdinger as Sinanome and Watson didn't improve, nor does Dennis Graf. Kulizek, meanwhile, goes up into the ninth as Rahil Patel crosses the line to go up into sixth. So it seems that a lot of people are gaining time in that last sector. Same with Aaron
Indeed.
Curtis, but he only managed 11th there, so he's still just outside the top 10, is the current championship leader. Here is Jose Federic Suto now then, the man who took his first win at, I believe it was Portimao, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
As Suto
right.
crosses the line, he does not improve as the two high
Looks like
cars.
Skilling's beating his teammate down now. The third race in a row where they're harming each other.
And Chobot only getting one place, of course. Let's not forget he got overtaken on his first lap. So Chobot not having any luck with the traffic. Quintino up to 13th. As Farina goes up into second. That's a big improvement for the Italian.
One.
Gets onto the front rowers. Watzel, his teammate, doesn't improve. Mohamed Usman Hamid now then crosses the line. No improvement for him. Lorenzo Tomaselli remains down in 18th position. Anybody else on a lap? Yes, Ben Valdingo.
Yes, he is on a lap. As I was just saying, Tomaselli was green in S2, but for some reason he couldn't improve, so he might have had a slow section here in Sector 3. As let's see if Wallinger can do the opposite and improve on his position. He's in P10 right now. Can he do any better than that? Or can he not? He cannot.
He cannot improve. He remains behind his teammate down in P10. So he's still just in the top 10 at the moment. There's the two Dams cars battling their way as they go into the pit lane entrance pretty soon. Of course, if you saw DTM, there was the infamous pit entrance crash, which, to be fair, we haven't seen for a few seasons in the OC, I'm pretty sure. So it was kind of a refresher there from DTM to do that this past weekend.
Yeah, indeed. I think even I crashed like that once. I don't even remember in which tier. In any case, here we have the two high-techs who just can't seem to get room. These guys are impeding each other every single race. In Baku they impede each other, in Austria they impede each other, now they're impeding each other again. And Chabot finally makes his way through his teammate, but his lap was majorly compromised.
Indeed so, and I've noticed up in the sky, it looks like the sun's starting to come out as well, so we might have cleared the bit where the rain was supposed to happen. It hasn't arrived, so I think the sun might be starting to come out around this track, so I think we've passed that bit where the rain was meant to happen, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Could we be hoping perhaps for some slightly higher track temps? Obviously that could help with the grip and lead to some improvements. Obviously there is still a bunch of people who will definitely have an improvement in them. It's just
I'll say that because look where the rain is, in fact. The rain has just arrived. As I just said, the cloud was getting brighter there. Maybe it was being a bit deceiving there.
That's one jinx and a half.
Lovely.
Anyway, we're just going up through the building, and this is a very interesting camera angle. I don't think the track will run up. I think people should still be able to improve on their laps. We got 16 minutes on the clock, and I don't think Nguyen will be getting 4 laps as he's just going out, speak of him.
And we get a great view of the Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire side of the country, really. As we just mentioned,
it's just on the border, isn't it?
Whether it will wetten up or not, we'll have to wait and see, of course, because it is only light rain, let's not forget.
Yeah, indeed. Usually it doesn't impact the track grip if it just drops, but people can still make mistakes. I mean, Gwen is out for his second lap. He'll be hoping to make no mistakes because he's lost the championship lead after Austria. In Baku and in Austria, in Azerbaijan and Austria, he started at the back. In Azerbaijan, he made a brilliant recovery to finish 5th. But in Austria, it just didn't play out his way. He didn't finish in the points, and as a result, he lost the championship lead to Curtis. Now he'll be hoping he can take it back, but he should out-qualify Curtis to make that happen. And right now, he's not out-qualifying him.
As they make their way through Beckett and then through Chapel, they will soon be going. Through Chapel now then, and then heading down the Hanger Straight.
Tell you what, the track itself doesn't look that bad. It might be raining a little bit in the pit lane, but I don't think it's a big deal.
I'm not sure, because I did see the track maybe slightly change at the exit of Cops, but I'm not 100% sure there. But we'll see, of course, as Nguyen is about to start his next lap.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see what he's got in the bag. And here he goes. You need to be tentative in conditions like this. You don't want to lose the car, but it's a qualifying lap. You got to go all out, so it's up to the driver to judge if that risk is worth it or not. As Nguyen doesn't seem to have any disturbance in these first flat-out corners. They might have a little bit of traffic. I believe that is Luca Farina in front as he's approaching Village. And the loop, this is the loop, and now in towards Aintree. Should still be easy flat, which it is for Ho Min Nguyen. He didn't look that disturbed right now by Farina. So let's see what he's going to do for his first sector split. I saw just a few drops of rain, and Gwen is only 2 tenths down on his personal best. I don't think it was the best first sector ever, but clearly we're not playing a role yet. As Valinger is the only one who stayed into the pits, as a matter of fact.
So Valdinger choosing to stay in the garage as he's currently down in P10. Let's just have a look at the conditions on the exit of Cops, because I thought whether it was the camera that was being a bit deceiving there, or whether it was, I'm not sure. I think it was the camera being deceiving there, because the timeout looks okay, and in fact, I think some parts of the track are not raining right now.
I think it was. I think Nguyen's run into Cops was pretty standard. So if he loses any time, it'll only be a loss of time because it was a bad lap, not because of the weather. But let's see, second sector split, and he is still down. But yeah, by about 7 tenths. But this is not because of the weather, it's just he hasn't had the best of lap. So the dirty air from in front did harm him a little bit as well. Juan Nguyen will still have 2 laps to go. But if he can get both laps in the remaining 30 minutes, that is another question.
Indeed, and as I mentioned, there seems to be some parts of the track which isn't raining, so it seems like it's only in parts of. I didn't see any rain at Maggots and Beckett, so that's why. As Nguyen doesn't improve as we expected there.
Nope, Zorbach 2 tenths down, so definitely not being harmed too much by the weather. As you have Kyle Burns looking to get back onto the front row. He's had a red sector 2 though, so I'm not sure if he can make it happen. Looked a little tentative on the entry to club, but let's see as he goes on to Hamilton Straight. And across the line, he's off the pace by 1 second. This is not unusual. We've seen it happen before. As Lewis von Protsiuk is not improving. He is also second down. Patel almost improved, but not quite. And Perriand didn't improve. What about Curtis? Ooh, misses out by just 1/10 of a second from improving. It's the weather definitely not harming anybody. Definitely not dampening anyone's spirits as Kulisevich and Sonoma didn't improve. And Jolie is way down. He's impeding Joel Warson as we speak. Warson is actually up on his personal best. That could be very good for him if he can avoid being majorly impeding in Sector 3. He's in P5 right now. He could get himself onto the second row. But dare I say, even the front row, he just needs to not lose any time here. That's easier said than done. Warson is going to cross the line very shortly. And what is the Kiwi driver going to do about it? Can he improve and how much? He's lost time, actually.
It seems like Andreoli did hold him up a bit too much there. As Chobot goes up to 13, so an improvement there.
That's a massive improvement. He's found 7 tenths.
Well, let's not forget, of course, he did get held up on his first 2 laps, so he's finally been able to get a clearing out of that.
Yeah, indeed so. Tomaselli can improve. What about Henry Watzel? Not much. He can improve either, and just Fricksuto couldn't do it either. Alex Brosser, what about him? I'm afraid he can't improve. But Gabriel Quintino can. He's gonna be the 9th place with that lap.
Now look at Max Skillen, who of course was too busy holding up Chobot on his previous lap. Skillen currently down in 20th position at this point in time.
Well, that won't be an issue anymore for this lap, but let's see if he can get out of P20.
And he can't. He remains in P20 as
20.
we speak. As there are dots on the track.
There are some more dots in towards Cops.
So we are starting to see the conditions change now at Cops Corner.
Indeed so. Would there be any chance that things get better towards the end, or is this it? I think this might be it. Looking at their speeds on the dev panel there, they're definitely being more tentative than they were before. They're dropping about...
Yeah. Well, it was damp, and now it seems that the dry line is starting to appear again, so it seems like it might be just a quick phase. Who knows, really?
This is going to be very interesting, though, because most of these guys only have 1 run left. That is other than Nguyen and Lance Vallinger. They have 2 left, and I think Nguyen is actually going out right away.
Yeah, indeed. As going through Magnus and Beckett will go Skilling. He'll obviously be coming back into the pits this lap, so obviously this lap is not going to matter whatever happens in this middle sector. But
funny enough, he improved in S1, but he almost improved in S2, but it didn't matter because, as you said, Joe, he's coming in.
Yeah, and of course that middle part is still a bit damp at the moment, but as Flo just pointed out there's already a dry line emerging on it, which is a bit weird.
I'm very surprised that Skillen only lost half a tenth after going through that Cops. So yeah, it's definitely interesting, these conditions.
Yeah, as now we look at Juan Nguyen, he's just making his way through Brooklands now then.
Any other day with conditions like this, I could have said Protsiuk was secure for pole, but I'm not certain yet. We still got 9 minutes, and this is a session full of surprises. I still think anything can happen in this.
Up there, the dots again down the pit straight, as we've already been accustomed to already, and you'll soon see that dry line, and there it is. In fact, it's getting even more dry, as you can see there. You can just see it starting to change a little bit more.
Looks like we had just a little bit of a splash
We've
of
got
rain.
dots now at Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah. Not only just a little bit. Yeah. A lot of other people have gone out on track in the meantime, Pratsiuk included. But Harman Nguyen will be beginning his 3rd lap. Zorbak is also out on track, so he's in P6 right now. Good for him. Let's see if he can improve on it. 8 minutes and a bit to go. We'll check his corner speed. It seemed quite alright, actually.
And it looks like the dots might be starting to get a little bit worse, but we will see.
Yeah, indeed. Wallinger's also out on track for his 3rd run. Pratsuk is out for his final run. As Nguyen, we're onto his lap, and he just avoided getting impeded there. He overtook that damp as he was coming out of the pits. Oh no, Dennis Graff and Harman Nguyen don't have the best memories together this season, let's play it that way. But Nguyen, let's hope he wasn't too impeded in Sector 1.
2 tenths down on his personal best in the first sector, but I think he's probably going to start losing the time in the middle sector due to how many dots there are on the track.
Well, let's see about that, but in any case, lap isn't a complete write-off just yet. Nguyen will still have another one, but it depends how the conditions are going to play out.
I say that, there is now a dry line starting to emerge down the support pit straight.
Yeah, indeed. And towards Maggots and Beckett's, Nguyen is going to go. How much time is he going to lose here, I wonder? I think he downshifted a little bit earlier than expected now, and that was definitely a little bit of a smaller error. But let's see his Sector 2. He's down by a second, so his last 8 tenths. Considering his Sector 1 was bad, though, I'm not sure if this is due to the wear, because look, Graf is going quite fast. We had a little look on him around the outside of Stowe, and that means his next lap is going to be ruined because he wasn't able to overtake him. 3 people are still in the pits, meanwhile. Those are Burns, Sutter, and Quintino.
Should point out as well, that dry line that was on the exit of Cops, that's now disappeared.
Yeah, indeed. Nguyen, how far down is he? 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds down his personal best. Farina and Tomaselli are starting laps as Zorbak is crossing the middle sector split right now. How far down is he? 9 tenths down. I wouldn't put it entirely down to the weather, as Hamid is about to start a lap. So waiting for these 3 people to go out, so it's a surprise why some of them haven't gone out. But in any case, Zorbak will be finishing his lap soon. I think Hamid is actually catching up to him a little bit. But yeah, this will be the last round for Zorbak. He'll be the first to complete this session. And I think he won't be starting any better than P6, I'm afraid. Let's see as he crosses the line. Now he can't improve. Checkered flag.
Zorbak is finishing off for the day. Here is Aaron Curtis. He's currently down in P13, and he's going to remain in P13 as a result of the weather looking like he's getting a bit worse out there.
Yeah, Pratsuk didn't improve on that lap, 1.7 seconds down. Rosser is beginning his lap as you avoid the Kulisec. With 5 minutes left in this session. Is his car kicking up a bit of spray there towards Club, I saw? Or it's got the rain light. Look.
Rain light is on, so that could indicate that there may be some spray out there. As Patel crosses the line, no improvement for him there. As Chobot, now then, obviously we're not expecting these guys to improve, but their lap times 1:38.6 there. Jesus Perinin in 4th position, 1 minute 39.4 for him. Obviously he's got experience around this track, given that he raced here last season and in fact took his BECC title at this particular layout.
Yeah, indeed. And he's been here for testing, of course, at the start of the GP2 season.
Indeed. So obviously Jesus has got some good memories from this track. As Watterson doesn't improve that time by, he also got held up as well in the process.
Well, Watson also didn't improve. He'll be starting last tomorrow.
Yep, so not a good qualifying for Henry Watson. As his teammate, looks like he's going to be starting on the front row as it seems, as he didn't improve but remains in P2, obviously.
This is something very surprising. Soto and Quintino haven't gone out, and this is why he's been stuck here he's been stuck in his garage the entire time.
Is it because as the Brazil glitch happened? Do you remember that Brazil glitch that happened in the first garage with the was it the 2 Uni Virtuoses? Was it? I can't remember which team it was, but
I remember that glitch all too badly, my friend.
I think this might be the same one, but I could be wrong here.
I'm thinking so. Obviously, that glitch became rather infamous during the top class in 2010. In the final race of the season, the two Toro Rosso drivers, when they came into the pits, they were stuck in the pits because a certain Lotus driver who was in front of them was blocking their garage. So,
Indeed,
yeah.
so. And I think it's a strange glitch here there, because it seems that Burns' mechanics seem to have gone on strike.
Maybe so. Maybe they're tired of him winning after that win in Austria. Maybe they want someone else to win. I don't know.
I think there is spray on track, because I did just see there, whilst we were looking on the replay cameras and Flo was skipping along, it looked like one part of the track looked like it had spray on it, so we might be right on that instance, Rob.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's definitely gotten too bad. There's no point going out anymore, I'd say.
And Laura has stolen my my catchphrase there. So,
Oh, what she said?
boom.
I thought your catchphrase was right now.
Well, no, that's what I usually do in commentary, but if you've seen in stream chats, it's usually boom whenever I have a good lap in. Nowadays, it will be when
Yeah,
it's a good lap, because
yeah,
I'm
fair
obviously in
enough.
the McLaren now, not when I get pole or the win.
Hey, well, you know, the fantasy era, anything could happen.
That's what I'm praying, anyway.
Here we have Joel Warson making a move on, is this Graf or is it Kulisic? I think it's actually Kulisic. No, it is Graf, but he couldn't make that move. Both of them are coming into the pits and they won't be going out again. I don't think anybody else will want to go out again in these conditions. It's a little bit atrocious, I'll say.
Indeed, as it looks like for the Cheruzes, their day is done. And well, it's a decent qualifying for them anyway, so it's not like they needed to go out anyway. With Burns in third and Suto in what
Six.
is
No, eighth. He's in eighth. Sorry, not
position.
six. It's a P8.
P8 as Farina is going to get wheeled back into the garage.
Yeah, indeed. We still have some people yet to go out for another run, but I think somebody is going out running as a matter of fact. I think that could be in Glenn. In these conditions, he won't improve as Broster makes a very audacious move on that high deck. Can he actually pull it off? No.
And they both come back into the pits. I think I did see some movement in the pit lane. Yep, Gabriel Quintino has gone out on the track.
He's finally been able to go out. He was blocked earlier, I think. In any case, he'll be going out for his last lap. Though in these conditions, he might as well not bother going up at all. Look how much spray there is in towards Aintree.
Yep, the spray has now arrived, so we were right on that instance. And I think for him, it's just trying to get a mileage run out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have no idea what the weather will be like come tomorrow, of course. So Quintino, I'm not sure if gathering the data in these drizzle conditions is worth it or not. But in any case, he's going for it.
Well, if we're speaking in top class terms, I think a lot of people in the top class are hoping that the race on Wednesday ends up being a wet race, because so far this season we've only had dry races. So it will be interesting.
Yeah, it will indeed. But in the case, Nguyen and Wallinger are also out on track. They're the ones who skipped out on runs earlier. They'll get the last lap now. Burns and Suto won't because of the pit lane chaos. And yeah, it's not like it's gonna matter anyway because there is zero chance for improvement. And speaking of pit stop glitches, you remember 2 years ago when Jake Galloway, back when he was racing in GP2, of course, was blocked in the pits the entire race.
When was that? I can't remember, to be honest.
It was 2 years ago in GP2. He was just stuck in the pits the whole race. As Coutinho begins the final lap.
I'm trying to remember that one. I actually can't remember, to be honest with you.
Another thing to remember from that race 2 seasons ago, it was when a legendary driver made his GP2 debut. Heinz-Harald Frentzen made his debut, and he was so OP that he got banned instantly. And Thomas Enge was also banned alongside him as a casualty.
Yep. And there is still that secret, well, I say page, secret bit of the Wikipedia which mentions Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Thomas Enge. I don't believe people have found it yet. I might be wrong. People may have done.
I've been pestering Flo for so long to get me access to that page to get a trigger flag, but he's never sent me the link to that page. So What are you doing, Flo? In any
Because,
case, Quintino is majorly down in the first sector. You might be wondering why we didn't even bother to comment on his lap, but I mean, it's obvious, isn't it?
indeed, as now Quintino makes his way through Beckett, then into Chapel he will go. And now heading
Took a very
down.
aggressive line, even though this lap pretty much doesn't matter at all. 3 seconds down, but that's no surprise. It actually looks dry at the end of the Hanger Straight, but that's the only place where it looks dry.
Through in towards Stowe and then down towards the final few turns. There's obviously a couple of others as well that just doing a mileage run, that being Benz Valdinger and Hoang Min Nguyen, who have it all to do tomorrow, like he did, I think, at Austria as well. So, not good qualifying again for Hoang Min Nguyen.
I think Quintino will be happy with his qualifying though. He's in P9, and he won't get any better than that. Nguyen is the last one to complete a lap. I don't think Vallinger got to the line in time, but Nguyen, he's had some bad timing going out the pits, so unfortunately for him, he'll be starting P18 unless he can find 3 seconds in this last sector in the wet, which is hard enough in the dry already, let alone in the wet.
There it is, and
Cut the chicane.
yeah, maybe cut the chicane is a suggestion. Maybe use the layout that the classic Silverstone weekend usually use. But anyway, Hoang Min Nguyen comes around the final corner and he will finish his lap. He'll obviously start P18 tomorrow, in this occasion a 140.293, and that's qualifying officially over.
Yes, it is. That is the end of today's session. And for the third time in 7 races this season, Ruslan Pratsuk is on pole. I said last season that Lorenzo Tomaselli was the qualifying master. Well, I think now Ruslan Pratsuk is the qualifying master for 2020. He's on pole yet again, 3 out of 7. And let's see what he can do in tomorrow's race.
It will be interesting indeed. Whether he can actually get his first win of the season, though, that is another question.
Indeed, Pratsuk did take 1 win before in his rookie season. That was in Hungary last season, but he wasn't able to get his second win. Maybe he'll get it tomorrow, who knows? And in case, here are the qualifying results. It's Ruslan Pratsuk on pole position, with Luca Farina, the man who won the first race, finally doing good again. He qualified second. He's on the front row. Can he get his second win of the season? We'll see. Kyle Burns is in third, building up some good momentum after a win in Austria. Jesus Perignon, the man in the championship, of course, doing quite well with P4, the Baku winner. Definitely got his mojo back after a poor weekend in Austria. Joel Larson is in P5. He definitely needed that. He's almost at a back in the championship. Nicholas Zorbach P6, just 1,000 behind Larson. He's doing well as well. Rahul Patel will be hoping to make up for last season's heartbreak at Silverstone. He qualified as P7, with just Frederick Suto P8. Gabriel Quintino is in P9. We saw him on a lap, of course, right at the end. And Santino Angioli is in P10. Benz Vallinger, who didn't even get his last lap in, but not like it mattered, was P11.
Then we have Wojtek Kulazek in 12th, with Aaron Curtis, the championship leader, with it all to do in 13th. Adam Chobot in 14th, he has it all to do as well. Dennis Graf 15th, Alex Broser in 16th, Mohammed Usman Ahmed with a lot to do in 17th. Same for Hoang Min Nguyen, he'll start in 18th. Lorenzo Tomaselli in 19th, Max Gillen in 20th, and then it's Hento Sennom in 21st, and in 22nd and last will be Henry Watzel.
Yep, that's about right. And I think it's been a very entertaining session, Joe. Obviously, the weather threw a spanner in the works. Ruslan Pratsuk did an amazing job, and I'll be very excited to see what happens in 24 hours' time when I get to the race. What do you think?
Indeed, it will be interesting, and whether Ruslan, as mentioned, can get to the victory or anybody else stopping, that is another question.
Yeah, indeed. But until then, we'll see you again, guys, tomorrow, same time as today. Don't forget to watch the practice and qualifying for the top class earlier, of course. And I'm not sure, but maybe we'll get a Team News Pal episode. Maybe we won't. But what you'll definitely get tomorrow is the GP2 race. So tune in tomorrow, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you again for the next one.
Bye-bye.